Hello shareholders, and Saturday at the Game Fair debating with the Mr. Ons, Chris Packham, Ruth Tingay and Mark Avery is what my daughter calls stressy. Thank you for your support with that and thank you for your comments, especially about the size of my balls of all things. Here is a film of what I look like walking across a field. Thanks especially to Colin Johnson, Philip Williams, Brian Tier, Ben Heath, Moose, Knut Pohl and David Bindley for their comments, plus Dana Blades, Rural Pest Control, Whitwell, Gimlet, 61 Cotswold Lad and Gonzo the Great. You know who you are. Thanks for making me Captain Scarlet. I could have got in more punches, but repartee is always something you think about a couple of hours afterwards. Thanks especially to shareholders James Marchington and Mark Singlehurst for coming along to the event and being among the very few people who actually put up their hands and stuck up for driven grouse shooting, and thanks for your comments afterwards. I spoke to them both. And here's what our cameraman Aaron thought of the bird fair.
It's obviously apparent that there is a shift in the landscape, the media landscape and the way that things are happening. I felt something shift at the weekend when I was standing at the back of the marquee listening to what World Justice was saying and the debate that Charlie was having with them. It's very easy for them to bring forward stories and pleas that are very emotive, because currently at the moment there's this passion and fashion for this emotive recreational outrage. I think some campaigns that they were doing are going to be hard to argue against. Not impossible, but hard to argue against with the type of people that are digesting it. And I think that the organisations that we currently have in the shooting industry are really not tooled up or got the right imagination for navigating this particular media landscape. I'm not saying that we are without doubt the only people or the best people to do it, but we are certainly some of the people that can do it. I think we have the ability to be able to pivot quickly, get stories out fast, keep you guys informed with all the news and updates, and also take your opinions on board quickly, and also rally and call you guys to action, which would be really, really useful in trying to get our point across. The strength is in numbers. The Fieldsports Nation itself is the thing that's going to make all the difference, because we need an audience as appreciative as theirs, as loud as theirs, as active as theirs, and you guys are already being a part of that. We need you to kind of bring other people into it and spread the good word. That's your first mission as the Fieldsports Nation, is to spread the word and bring more and more people into this. We need to face this challenge head on. I got a visitor. So anyway, Fieldsports Nation, keep up the good work.
Here's David on the bird fair, plus other work he's been carrying out for you, the Fieldsports Nation, this week.
So last Wednesday we got our 10th birthday show out without too much of a hitch, although there was a technical problem for about 20 minutes, which was a bit weird. But yeah, so after the relief of getting that out Thursday, I went to the University of East Anglia to interview a prof there for one of the films that I'm making with one of the projects that the Fieldsports Nation is hopefully covering for us. There's two projects I'm working on right at the moment, but this one with the prof maybe go out next week, I don't know, but we'll see how we do. But then on Friday I was preparing for the bird fair, which was fascinating. Also had another interview lined up at the bird fair and another one lined up outside in Rutland, in farmland in Rutland as well, for another project. So balls in the air at the moment. But the actual debate was fascinating. I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but the boy Charlie was well and truly exhausted after it all. I mean, being anyone being able to sit and sort of run a debate in front of 650-ish people, pretty daunting task actually. So I was really feeling for him. I was at the right hand side of the stage doing the close-up stuff, and Aaron was at the back, but the audience was really impressive, and I felt that the most striking thing about that whole event was the audience. It wasn't necessarily the conversations on stage, because there's a lot of grandstanding, as Charlie described it, pantomime. There's a lot of pantomime going on, but the audience was impressive. They are united, and it was almost like being part of a sort of a rock concert. There was it felt like one single organism, and they were all pushing in the right direction, or the same direction, not the right direction, the same direction. So yeah, it was really odd being there, and it was good to actually have a one-to-one with Mr. Packham and Mr. Avery afterwards. Mr. Avery irritated me with his "I'm a scientist" line. I thought that was a bit silly, but Chris is the one that's the true media professional, and he kept it professional. I think, judging by the comments, people quite liked his approach, and I think we need to focus on what he does believe in and maybe try and turn that to our advantage. If we can have him promoting shooting in whatever way he's doing it, then that's a good thing. If we can focus on what he's trying to keep in as opposed to what he's trying to knock out, then we need to focus on that. And we've isolated clips, and we extended the interview with him for tomorrow, for a Wednesday night show. So yeah, lots to do. Again, I just got off the phone to another press officer. I'm getting quotes and statements from lots of different people because there is a lot going on at the moment, and we're getting more and more people saying we need to be covering this, we need to be covering that, and we can only do that by investment from the guys who watch the show. It's a real frustration, and I don't know how else we do it because there's so much to do, and how we go forward, I don't know. It's a really odd and complicated time, but your backing is essential. I really think that at the moment, and I think getting the films out there is really, really important. So thank you.
It's been a busy week. Well over 100 YouTube and Patreon members now who will all become shareholders in due course. If you haven't done so already, please can you pop your physical address to me, you new members, via YouTube and Patreon, plus your YouTube handle if necessary, because I owe you a goodie bag. And to everybody I owe a goodie bag. I'll be picking them up next week and posting them out by the end of the month. My email, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. The shop is worth a visit this week. We have a few of the gun covers Tim Pilbeam was using in Fieldsports Britain 2 weeks ago, and you can't buy the Napier 12-bore bore snake cheaper than the fieldsports.shop. We also have a fantastic offer on an Olight Warrior X hunting kit, only 5 of them available. It includes the Warrior X torch plus accessories including gun mount and the H2R head torch. Full RRP is £240.75. Sale price £159.99. That's more than £80 off. Plus, we're extending your 10th birthday discount code on all products to this Thursday, the 22nd of August. Just enter the word 10th, 10th, into the box at checkout. It knocks another 20 quid off the Olight package. Now, I've also been working on our plan to film the shooting events that will run alongside the Commonwealth Games 2022. And funded by the Fieldsports Nation, I went up to Altcar Ranges, the Bisley of the North, to meet Keith Shields from the Commonwealth Shooting Federation. And here's what he has in mind for that event.
The problem we've got is some of these little countries or little nations have got no chance of getting to the Olympic because they've not got enough support, continuity and development. Now that's not fair on them not being able to shoot in a bigger market. And the other thing with the Commonwealth Games and the Commonwealth medals is it's where you get your funding for the Olympics or for the next cycle. The solution at the present time is to actually look at Altcar ranges. We spoke with the Altcar about that. The Commonwealth Federation, I've been given consent by the President of the Commonwealth Shooting Federation, Harry, to go ahead, look at Altcar, see what we can do, see if we can put it up. Now Altcar has, like any other military base, pros and cons. We've got a lot of rifle ranges there, not a major issue that can be set up quite easily to accommodate the 60 target lanes. Slightly short on our 80 targets that we do need for full competitions, but we can supply a Commonwealth Federation event there. We've got several buildings that we can use internally for the air targets and air rifles. The big issue there is they've got no shotgun pit or skeet trap layouts.
Okay, this is the clay range. It's not big enough, but it establishes they've got one, and we can work on this and we can make it bigger.
They have got a complete section of ground that they're prepared to let us go in, develop it, and create basically the equivalent of Fort Benning. A military base that has got everything. Now the Americans use Fort Benning to train all their elites, whether it's their military or their civilian shooters. They've got a compact base. Well, there's no reason Altcar can't be that one. Yes, it's a closed camp, it's got civilian clubs there, and we want to develop that to leave a long-term legacy in our sport. We have had Barry Budden, nothing left. Woolwich Barracks, nothing left. We're looking again at the possibility of a pop-up somewhere in Birmingham. It's not going to happen. Bisley, again, looked at. Birmingham have said no to it. It's being pushed that Bisley is the correct answer for everything else. It's not the only answer. So let's look at the development of Altcar. We can make it a national centre. It's got a legacy available there to leave for long term for the sport. It allows, only from within the UK side of things, England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales can get there much easier. The Irish guys can ferry across, the Scots guys can do it. So it would leave us, and the term sometimes used, Bisley of the North, a beautiful set of ranges that is easily accessible for all people. So not only are we actually creating the base that's already there, we're then enhancing something for the nations. And by the nations, I actually mean the UK or GBR, but allowing the Commonwealth to support and develop what would be a long-term legacy for any other sports. Within that, the sport then should have longevity and more access to do it.
I hope that all comes off. I'll let you know. Now, what's in this week's show? Well, we have more from the Bird Fair. We go backstage for the post-match chat with Packham and with Avery. Plus, Roy is out foxing with Roy Lupton. Let's hope they get one. That'll be out tomorrow night. And I will see you next week.